Hey, good evening everyone. In tonight's free video, want to quickly take a look at Verizon and Apple. We'll start off by looking at Apple here. I got a bunch of questions. It's highly anticipated tomorrow. The rumors are swirling like crazy. If you haven't heard that there's like a 99.99999% chance that Verizon is going to come out tomorrow and say, look, after 3 years or whatever, we're putting the iPhone on our network. Apple's built us one, and so on and so forth. Now, how many they sell is up in the air. There's tons of, speculation, 7 million, 10 million, 11 million, whatever it may be. The thing that I'm looking at is the charts. Now, we were long, and we've been long for a very, very long time here, right? And for those of you who attended our workshop or have downloaded our workshop, you know this setup. We got long down here very, very long time ago. Now, it has gone past the 127, and it even went to the 1618. Now, at the 1618, there was definitely some resistance here. It had spent several months, 1, 2, 3 months, hanging and continuing to bang at that 1618. We've seen it sort of break through it this month right here. Now, the month isn't over, so a lot can happen in this month. I don't know what's going to happen when this announcement comes tomorrow. Is it going to be sort of the buy on rumor, sell on news things where Verizon comes out, they say the news, they say the iPhone's on their network, and everyone's like, all right, we knew this was coming, blah, 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 and it falls. It's hard to say. It's gone beyond the 1618, so it's kind of when it goes beyond a 1618 extension, we usually call that in a parabolic state. When you're looking at the monthly chart, there's no extensions that we look at that are beyond that. So this thing could just very well just go sort of parabolic. You can also see that it's gone extremely overbought by our standards. Now, historically speaking, that every time Apple has gone overbought, now in these cases they're a little bit more extreme than what we're seeing here, it tends to pull back. But again, it's just, you can't base it, we're not basing any pullback based on the RSI. So what can we possibly expect from Apple going into tomorrow? Well, I'm looking more in depth, and when we go to the weekly chart, we get a little bit more data, right? And what we can see here is that this market, it went up, and this is that, few months here where it consolidated, right? And it had sort of this pennant going on, and I'm sure as many of you know, it broke it, and you can clearly see that. Now we can measure that, and again, this is where fibs come in very, very handy, because most people, when they look at a break, they'll say, well, I don't know where it's going, right? You'll look at a market and you'll see, okay, I see this pennant, I see this consolidation, and we know that consolidation is what? It's a buildup of energy, right? The energy is getting built, and we know that it's usually either going to break up or it's going to break down. Now, in this instance, it broke up, right? But most people don't know where to expect it to go. Where can we expect it to go? And we've talked about this before, and by using our fibs, we can project where we can expect it to go. And in this case, when we broke above here and closed above here, which happened last week, the 70% rule came in. So for those of you who don't know, the 70% rule is when the market breaks above or below. In this case, above, there's a 70% chance that it gets to the 127 extension. So the 127 is at 344. The highest high today was 340, 323. So keep an eye on this level right here, this 127, for possible resistance. Now, is it possible it blows right through that? Absolutely. What happens if it does? Where can we project it to go from there? If it blows right through there, then look for a move to 374, 375-ish. You'll also notice that's just about 1-to-1 symmetry, a little bit beyond. So keep an eye on this level. It is a 30-point range, but watch to see what happens tomorrow. Will the reaction be, oh, it's here, super great, let's sell off? Or will it be more of a positive reaction and we'll see more of a push? None of us really know the answer to that yet, okay? Now, if we go to Verizon, Verizon's had a little bit of a different reaction. Now, last week on the monthly chart, we talked about in the premium newsletter and in the trading room, shorting Verizon, okay? And I think in the free video as well, we talked about looking for resistance here as well, if you take a look at our website. We did sell them, right at this level with a stop at a specific level, and it also is in line with the trend line, as you can see I've drawn right here. We're looking for a move down to about this support level right here, so just under 35, about 34 and change, okay, between 33 and 34 and change. The month isn't over by any means. Remember, it's only the first week, and it hasn't even been a week and a half of trading in the new year. So this monthly candle can change in just a couple of days if it wants to. But if we look at the daily chart, you can see that Thursday and Friday of last week we sold off pretty hard after being extremely overbought, and then this morning we sort of gapped up, but that gap up wasn't really sustained. It came right back down, which isn't necessarily a good thing. So I'm watching Verizon here, and if Verizon ends up breaking below this low right here, then look for a move down to the 34s, okay, high 34s, and if it breaks down below there, look for a move down to just about 34. So keep an eye on Verizon. The interesting thing is that Apple has gone up, Verizon has gone down. What's going to happen tomorrow with the news, right? What's going to happen with everything that everyone's expecting? So pay close attention. I expect Verizon over the coming months to continue pulling back as per the monthly chart. With Apple, that 127 extension that we looked at on the weekly could be a partially some resistance. If not, and goes right through, look for a move up to about the 375-ish level. Other than that, keep a close eye on those trades. Again, I'm not advocating shorting Apple where we are right now. I still think upside is possibly limited given where we are, but you got to have a trading plan. You got to have a set of rules. If you don't have either one of those, then you shouldn't be doing anything. All right, guys? Hope that helps. We'll see you guys at the next update.